people have to answer to it. This is a party that is active, to say the very least. I thank our exquisite chair, Anita Bond, for inviting me tonight and for all the extraordinary work that she has done since becoming chair of our party. You can really see the difference she has made. And I certainly would like to thank the State Committee. Your presence here tonight attests to the kind of energy you have put into this among many other matters affecting my own jurisdiction. And you are, of course, where I begin. You are the party. And so it turns out to be prescient for Anita to invite me tonight in the middle of yet another hoopla for our voting rights. But after all, that comes with the territory. So I hope nobody's jangled by this, because that's what they want to do to you. Yes, the NRA is making points at our expense. We're not going to let them kill our joy or kill our bill. They want to give us a Hobson's choice, otherwise known as no choice, between, on the one hand, our rights, and on the other hand, our safety. We're not going to accept that. And that was always the case. But this time, they don't have us nearly in the position they thought they might. We had just passed the House, the bill in the Senate just last Thursday, and that was a mountain to have climbed. That was the mountain that when we went to it last time, they said you can come a little way up, but you will not get to the mountaintop. This time we got to the mountaintop with 61 votes. We had 2 more votes we could have gotten, but we could spare them. They couldn't be there. One was Senator Kennedy. For me to bring him back, I needed to really need him. There was another member who had a doctor's appointment. It looked like we had to vote. Of course, there was a problem even with that vote. It was kind of overshadowed by getting the Senate in the first place, since they had stopped us before, remember, with 57%, because whoever heard of a majority of the kind they require there. But even they had really the gun bill attached to it. We were not as concerned because the House had passed the bill last time. They didn't have any gun bill attached to it. The joy continued to mount on Monday. Our real champion. It's awfully good to have a champion at the top. Steny Hoyer, the majority leader himself, told me he was prepared to move. I loved it that the House and the Senate seemed to be in a race this time against one another, who would get there first. And the Senate got there first this time. It seemed to me that was sweet justice, since they were the laggard last time. So Steny took right off, and if anything, I was rushing because we had to get to the Rules Committee by Wednesday. As of Wednesday morning, no amendments had been offered. I knew that was going to change. Often people come to rules with amendments, or they're offered just before. So we were not surprised to see a gun amendment. Indeed, there were 2 gun amendments among maybe 6 or 7 who were offered. All of them were non-germane. None of them would have been in order. Then the NRA did something not unlike what they did last time. They did something unprecedented in the House. They could not get a rule. That was clear. They came forward with a gun amendment. That's not germane. So what do? If you don't get in the rule, then you cannot offer the amendment on the floor. So they said they were going to score the rule. Now, nobody ever scores a rule. You score a bill. Scoring means you get your rating. And people don't score many bills. Now, scoring a rule meant, this is what it meant, that if you vote for a clean rule, which is what we had last time, what you were going to get this time, that does not allow or make in order the possibility of the same gun amendment that we put in last time, in last August, that I was able to defeat only in the Senate, and that was in the Senate bill. If you don't do that, then we will score the rule. That means you're supposed to vote against your own rule. Now, you do not vote against your rule. You may vote against the bill. And it's hard for me to explain to people outside of the conundrum known as the House of Representatives, outside of the honeybee known as the honeycomb known as the, because it'll sting you, known as the House of Representatives. But to vote against the rule is like treason. That means you're voting against having your own bill considered. The other side's supposed to do that. They always vote against the rule. So you have joined the enemy. So you may be dead set against a bill. You do not vote against the rule. That cannot be forgotten by the leadership. Well, that put the conservative Democrats in a hard way to begin with. But nobody quite knew what they were going to do. Something else